3-game stretch will define Oklahoma's college football season in 2025 because the Sooners, they have high expectations out in Norman this upcoming fall. And while they should, because they had a stellar offseason, they upgraded at offensive coordinator with Ben Arbuckle. They upgraded at quarterback with John Mateer. They got better weaponry like Jaden Ott and Giovanni Gibson. The offensive line is going to be a year older and wiser. And they also have a stellar defense. So you look at this team, no one knows what to expect. They could be 9-3 and a dark horse for the college football playoff, or things go south after Red River and Joe Castiglione is firing up the meetings to hire a new head coach for the long-term future. So which stretch of games will define which pathway they go down? In my opinion, it's simple. It's the Red River shootout. It's on the road at South Carolina. It's home against Ole Miss. Let's break it all down. Welcome on into SEC Unfiltered. It's Cole Thompson here. Like the video, hit the ring notification. Sooner Nation, you know you love the channel. So make sure you hit subscribe and tell your friends, family, mortal enemies, best of bros as we continue to grow this channel. Make sure that you download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Follow us on the socials, link in the description, and check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. And as always, we're proudly brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Go visit FanDuel.com/SECU. Join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. So if you believe that John Mateer is going to be in New York City hoisting up the Heisman Trophy, go win some money by going to FanDuel.com/SECU. If you think that Oklahoma is going to the college football playoff, win yourself some money by going to FanDuel.com/SECU. Win that bet, get $250 in bonus bets today. Now, usually I leave off the Red River shootout in terms of important games because the bottom line, both sides believe that they should win this game every single year. It's the Cotton Bowl. It's in Dallas. It's the rivalry of all rivalries. It's an atmosphere built like nothing else. And so if you lose this game, I don't think it truly defines who you are as a program. But what I will say is this year differs for Oklahoma in a lot of ways. Let's start off with the fact that this, to me, is going to be the last game before all hell breaks loose. Look at Oklahoma and who they face off against going into this matchup. Illinois State, Michigan, at Temple, Auburn, Kent State. 3 of those games are automatic wins in my opinion. No questions asked. Temple, Illinois State, at Kent State. Wins. Auburn should be a win in my opinion. I like your roster better. I like your quarterback situation better. I like your running back room better. I like your defense better. So that should be a win. And the Michigan game is the crossroad games to where anything can happen. Bryce Underwood decides to make his presence known in Norman and they end up winning outright. Or he looks well too over-advanced and just overwhelmed. And this is a moment where John Mateer puts himself on a pedestal to win the Heisman Trophy. So very well, Oklahoma could be coming into this matchup undefeated. But after this game, the schedule that you go through with matchups against LSU, at Alabama, Missouri, Tennessee, Ole Miss, it's daunting. It's horrifying. You may end up winning this game and losing outright. So it's not just bragging rights. If you win this game and you're undefeated, you're bowl eligible, which I'm not saying is a thing that people are expecting out in Norman. There's way higher expectations. But what I will say is that at least you keep the streak alive. But the other thing that's so important about this game is that you have the quarterback that you believe is better than advertised. Like he's making some throws in camp right now that don't just have my jaw dropping, but they have me reaching into my wallet and going, here, FanDuel, please take my money. Go ahead and put some down on John Mateer to win the Heisman Trophy and the Davey O'Brien Award. And you can make those bets over at FanDuel.com because if I'm making those bets, that's how well he looks. Deion Burks is fully healthy, which would, in my opinion, give him a slight advantage over the Texas wide receivers because if he is a veteran. You feel good about the tight end position. You also feel really good about this defense. And I'm not saying that Texas can't win this game because Texas very well can. They won last year. They dominated this game last season. But think about this for a second. What if in this matchup, much like we saw a few seasons ago when Dylan Gabriel had his Heisman-like drive, found Nick Anderson at the back of the end zone, they win this game. Texas, they may be going to the college football playoff, but this may be the game that gives you the advantage. Say you all finish 9-3. It's you and Ole Miss and South Carolina and Alabama, and Texas wins the SEC. So you're going to punish a team for beating a team that won the SEC? I don't think so. That gives you an advantage. I think the other thing about this is it just shows you that, yes, while Texas did have a slight edge last season in their run of joining the SEC, Oklahoma's got the right chops. They got the right people in the building. They hired the right personnel staff. They brought in the right people to upgrade at certain positions. They hired the better nutrition and strength and conditioning staff. And now, even though Texas is the new belle of the ball, Hey, cute little hot sister right behind it, right behind it. There we go. We're right there. We're neck and neck. We're not going to fall off entirely. And it's the Red River winning this game in Dallas. 2:30 kick. You're going to be able to go into the night sky out in the state fair, be celebrating while all the Longhorn fans are sad. I believe that this game is so influential just because of what's at stake. And let's move into that next game, shall we? Game number 2, it's South Carolina. And why do I say South Carolina as such a big game? And why am I so high on this being a matchup? Well, keep in mind that let's say you beat Texas in Dallas, Cotton Bowl. The shootout ends and you're the victors once again, and you're wearing the Golden Cowboy hat. You're on cloud 9. You're excited as all hell. We just proved to everybody that we are a team that you do not want to mess with. We got a quarterback that's really good. We have an offensive line that's improving weekly. We got a wide receiver that is trying to win his own Biletnikoff Award. We're built, baby. And that morale gets so high and Icarus flies so close to the sun that he gets burned in Willie V. And that's a possibility. The reason why the South Carolina game is on this list more than anything else is because of how do you respond after a game that has so much emotion, has so much toil, that has so much implications on just bad blood for years in and years out, and could lead to a very significant win for Brent Venables in the program history. It could also lead to a very significant loss for Brent Venables in his tenure at Oklahoma. How you respond in this game on the road in an environment that some people believe is the rowdiest atmosphere in college football, and certainly one of the rowdiest in the SEC. How do you answer when your back could be against the wall? Is this a moment where we see John Mateer live up to the Heisman hype, where he ends up uncorking one 40 yards down the field to a Giovanni Gibson, and it sets them up inside the red zone, and then Jaden Ott punches it in for 6 points, that they're able to slow down Lenore Sellers behind the line of scrimmage, take away the run game, force him to pass? I think Lenore Sellers is a great passer. I think there are some things that he has to work on, but overall, very balanced playmaker. Can he be an upgrade over what you had last season, and can you just force him to have to win through the year, where you're getting a Peyton Bowen forcing an interception, where our Mason Thomas is coming off of the edge and he's winning his one-on-one battles against the offensive line? What are we going to see in that matchup? Because those are the things that I'm looking for in this game. If you can do that, if you can slow down Sellers, and if your defense can give you one more stop, I think the offense is going to be able to combat whatever we see from South Carolina's defense. They lost a lot. They lost a lot this offseason. Things that are going to be hard to replace, including leadership. Like Dylan Stewart's a great player, but Kyle Kennard was the heart and soul of that team, along with guys like Debo Williams and Tonka Hemingway and TJ Sanders and Nicky Manwari, and they're all off to the NFL. They're getting ready for the Sunday game while this game is going on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening. So it's a trap game because of the emotions from last week are running so high that potentially you overlook what you have to do in this game, and it ends up leading to back down to reality. Maybe we were a little bit too far ahead of schedule. That's where I'm at with Oklahoma. I'm not saying that they can't win this game. In fact, for my money, they very well should win this game if everything goes according to plan. But it's easily able to go ahead and take a team like this one and put yourself in a position to where you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to make of them. And maybe you win this game. But then you go to the next game and you're back home. And now you're back in Norman and, oh yeah, everything was good. But it's 3 straight games back to back to back to where you're facing off against a team that not only do you want to beat, but also a team that absolutely, if you allow them to take their first punch and give it the best punch, you're losing by double digits. It's Ole Miss. Ole Miss going into this year, I have no expectations for. And I would say most people don't have any expectations for because you lost so much from last season. Yeah, you have a new quarterback, but you also have a slew of new wide receivers, a slew of new offensive linemen, a bunch of new defensive pieces, and they weren't up to the same level as the talent you brought in last season to Oxford. But it's Lane Kiffin, and all he needs is a good game plan, a well night's sleep, and a quarterback that can go ahead and defy the laws of physics on certain plays. And lo and behold, he's got 11 wins, and he's going to the college football playoff. And he has the quarterback in Austin Simmons. Simmons is awesome. Like, I'm believing in John Mateer as probably the breakout player in the SEC. I truly think that he is going to come on in and change the way that we viewed Oklahoma's offense last year. But right behind him is Austin Simmons for me. He is going to be special. And he is going to build a rapport with one or two of these wide receivers to where you're seeing them put up 40 in a game and you're like, how the hell are they slowing teams down? They're not. They're just meeting the standard on what's not happening on the offensive side. So this could be a shootout. This could absolutely be one of those games where, hey, Oklahoma, you win against Texas, you win on the road against South Carolina. This is the trap. This is where you come home and you say, oh, well, you know what? It's Ole Miss. They've already lost 2 games. And now you've lost 2 games. Or you've now lost 3 games this year. Or this is your first loss in the season. Congratulations. Welcome to the L column. It can happen. They're going to have a healthy Logan Diggs. Their offensive line, the pieces that they brought in, I think are very substantially sound. I like Traylon Way as a wide receiver. Javon Stribling is going to be a name that we got to talk more about. Caden Lee in the slot last season was a match-made nightmare for teams. And they still have Surtain Perkins coming off of the edge. If your offensive line is not just better on paper, but actually on the field, he is going to win every single one-on-one battle, put you in 3rd and long, and force you to throw, which could lead to a ton of errors if you are John Mateer. But if you win this game, well, then you get to go play on the road against Tennessee, on the road against Alabama, Missouri, LSU. In my humble opinion, you just go 2-2 in that stretch, and you win all 3. You're in the college football playoff. You go 1-3 in that stretch. You're 9-3. It's not a guarantee, but you certainly have an argument with wins over South Carolina, wins over Alabama, Texas, wins over Michigan to be in the playoff. You would have that argument, and all things are possible. But the Red River Shootout, you're expected to win every single year. This year, I feel like you have to win just to gain some national respect around the SEC. The trap game of all trap games on the road will be potentially a Saturday night. High morale, very much on cloud 9, come back to reality. But you win that game, certainly another trap game is going to be Ole Miss. Because Lane Kiffin's got nothing to lose, and he's got a quarterback that wants to prove that he is the best thing to come through Oxford, probably since Archie Manning. But let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on Oklahoma, which is the 3-game stretch that will define their college football season in 2025. Like, review, hit subscribe. Make sure you're following us on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson and at SEC Unfiltered. And check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. Until next time, folks, I am Cole Thompson. Boomer! You may go to the college football playoff this year. Not ready to throw money down on it, but you win these 3 games, feeling pretty confident.